Hi guys, here we are, a very gloomy day here where I am viewed. And of course we're back to everyone having to work from home. Most people spending a lot more time at home maybe, and for most of us that normally means spending a lot more time on our computer or laptop or tablet, whatever we're using for our entertainment or work sometimes. It can be a bit of both, I know. I tend to swing between one and the other. A bit of work and then just play a little game of whatever. So again, I thought I'd just do a quick little reminder. There are still some of the early ones up on this Rosie Lewis Yoga YouTube site. This one, I thought we'd do one about standing, just to get out of the chair for a start. And to remind ourselves about some of the easy stretches we can do at home. So the first one is just literally just to stand up on your feet, have your feet kind of hip widths apart. In yoga we call this mountain pose. Just standing nice and still. Little tip of your tailbone down maybe. So you feel as if you're dropping your tailbone to the floor, and then maybe lift your pubic bone up just slightly towards your sternum, your breastbone. So there's that little tiny adjustment through the pelvic girdle. You can stay nice and stable here, and just 3 times. We're just going to inhale, lift the arms up. So if you've got a big beach ball here between your hands, and then exhale, you bring the beach ball back down again. 2 more times, big breath in. We breathe in through the nose. We can breathe out through the nose or the mouth. Sometimes it's nice to feel that lovely sighing sound. One last time. Elbows don't have to be locked in. We can keep them soft. Depends how tight your shoulders are. And slowly and gently come back down. You're going to take one hand about shoulder height away from the wall and just step away so that that arm is straight without you leaning into it. Middle finger pointing up towards the ceiling. I'm going to wrap the other arm around me and just very gently just move my feet and my whole body round. At the same time, I'm keeping a bit of pressure here against my hand. You take your head away from the wall so the chin's going over to the opposite shoulder, and then maybe bring the chin back to the other shoulder looking at the fingers. Maybe do that one more time. So we're looking here for quite a strong stretch all the way down through the front of the arm, bringing the shoulder blade back and down a little bit. Slowly come back to neutral, and then just rotate the hand 90 degrees. So now the thumb is pointing up, middle finger pointing back. For most of us, immediately we rotate this upper arm bone. We're getting a bit of a stretch there. And just do the same again if you can. It may not be such a big movement. Notice the shoulder rolling up. Drop the shoulder blade down your back. And again, look over the opposite shoulder, away from the wall. Look towards the wall. We're not pushing into the wall. There's just that kind of connection there. Away. And maybe as you exhale, turn around. And then slowly come back and just release. Close your eyes, go within, notice how that feels, and then of course we're going to do the same on the other shoulder. So I will actually turn around, maybe that might exaggerate what happens to the shoulder sometimes. So again, the hand is pretty level with the shoulder, middle finger pointing up, take the hand back behind. Notice this shoulder is much more comfortable if it rolls up. We want to try to keep it down. So as we rotate away from the wall a little bit, we actively roll that shoulder blade down. Looking away from the wall as you breathe in, looking towards the wall as you breathe out. Again, we can breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, or out through the mouth. Slowly come back to center. The same as we did on the other side. Now the thumb's going to be up, middle finger pointing backwards, and we do the same thing, rotating away from the wall. Notice how the shoulder rolls forwards. See if you can physically lift it up and drop it down your back. Tailbone to the floor, pubic bone lifting up, so make sure we don't arch through the back. Again, the head moves, inhale away, exhale towards, inhale away, exhale towards, and then just release. Give those arms a bit of a shake out. Fabulous. So we know that life is all about balance, and very often we try to bring some balance into our everyday life, maybe even just putting on your socks, putting on your trousers, is that kind of balance. what I'd like us to do as well is to remind ourselves that balance is about focus. It's about the mind. It's not just about being able to stand on one leg or both hands or your head, whatever it is you're doing. It's about the focus in your mind, the concentration. So to do a balance in between all of your computer work is a great way of trying to settle the mind. We have two tools: our breath. Just by focusing on your breath, that's going to happen, where you're going to come out of that kind of fight or flight mode a little bit, dropping down, but also in a balanced pose. So what I'd like us to do is bring those hands down beside us. We're just going to lift up one foot with your arms, keeping the foot flexed. That means the foot is flat. We're drawing the toes up towards the knee. So little fingers pointing back, thumbs pointing forwards. As you inhale this time, just slowly, as if you're a marionette, you've got a little string on that left or right knee, whichever one you want to start with, and synchronize your breath with your movements. Other side, inhale, lifting up. Remember the floor's there if you need it, flex through the foot, exhale slowly, slowly. If you can't get up that high, it's fine, let's go again, inhale. Maybe just lift the foot off the floor. If you can lift it up all the way, that's perfect. Slowly and gently come back down. And again, remember how high you lift it is totally up to you. How balanced do you feel right now? And we're just going to do one more on both sides, working with your breath. Big breath in. And big breath out. Big breath in. And big breath out. And again, just release and relax those arms. Maybe give the shoulders a little roll, forwards, backwards. Just move the head a little bit from side to side. I personally don't do full neck rolls, but if your neck's happy to do it, then by all means do. Mine makes some pretty hideous noises, so I don't do it anymore. But just going to move the head a little bit left to right, as if you're saying no. Inhale, lift the chin up. Exhale, draw the chin down. Excuse me. And then as you exhale this next time, let the chin come right down onto your collarbone. But keep the chest lifted up. So we're not actually kind of rolling down here. Trying to keep the shoulders up, let the chin come down. And we're going to let it stay here for a couple of breaths. So the idea is that we're gradually stretching. We're trying to draw the shoulder blades down your back still. So all across the back of your neck, across your trapezius, we're getting a lovely stretch. You can maybe slide your chin up one side of the collarbone. Slowly bring it back to center. Up to the other side again, as long as your neck isn't making horrible noises. It's not a big movement. And then slowly inhale, lift up the shoulders, right up to the ears as you lift the head up, and gently come back. So there are two more things I'd like to just quickly show you that for me work wonders. One of them is to bring my hands hip height to, I'm using the wall here obviously because I have one. If you're at home you can rest your hands on a table, kitchen counter, it doesn't have to be wall space, we have very little. Just take a step back, and the idea here is that we bend the knees and straighten through the spine. So I feel like I've got energy flowing through my hands to the wall, through my tailbone behind me, and down to the floor. And try not to collapse into it. Just think about kind of pushing yourself away from the wall, lengthen up so we can bend the knees as much or as little as you need. And just feel that you're stretching through that back. Try to get that little hollow here. That's the natural curvature of your lumbar spine. And then slowly and gently, just turn sideways to the wall. Again, you could use the edge of the counter if you haven't got a wall space. I've got the wall space, so I'm going to use it. Take the feet a little bit more, so you really are leaning into the wall this time. And then as you lift up the opposite hand, the hand away from the wall, allow the hips to come away as well. And we could just stay here for a couple of breaths. We don't have to touch the wall. Maybe some of you may be able to. But just feel that you're pushing. So again, arrow this way, hips are going away, energy going into the wall. Arm up to the ceiling maybe, or over your head. And then slowly and gently come back to center. And again, just do the same thing. Hand either on the unit or the wall, stepping away so you're leaning into it. As you lift, this is a good stretch as well. We don't have to move the hips. But if you can, maybe move the hips away. So you feel that there's that lovely kind of little side bend going on even deeper. And then slowly, gently come back to center. And we're just going to finish taking 5 breaths. I'm going to invite you to bring one hand onto your heart center, one hand onto your belly. When we do our deep breathing, then the diaphragm really gets a good toning. We embrace the inflation, as we're looking for, so inflation of the belly, the chest lifting up, the chest opening. So when we take our 5 deep breaths, you can close your eyes, you can keep them open, whatever works for you. If your eyes are open, maybe a soft little fuzzy gaze somewhere in the distance. And just take your 5 deep breaths in here, breathing in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth. In through the nose, maybe imagine you're blowing out your candles in your birthday cake. And feel this kind of contraction as the belly comes in, the chest softens, and these hands almost come together. Inhale, they separate slightly. Just 2 more. Choose whatever pattern works for you, but connect with your breath. Feel how your body opens to draw the breath in. Feel your body expanding, opening, lengthening, widening. And maybe just take your hands down, maybe give your body a bit of a shake out, maybe shake out your legs as well. And then maybe you feel a little bit more ready to go back and do some more work on the computer, whatever you're doing. So again, please know you don't need to have special equipment to do some gentle stretching. We don't have to get down on the floor, we don't have to have a mat, we don't have to do sit-ups. Some of these stretches from side to side tones the abdominal muscles. The breath in the belly tones the abdominal muscles. Have fun with them, play around with them. Find a stretch that works for you and maybe message me underneath and tell me what it was. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Have a great afternoon. Take care. Namaste.